David Viewer, good evening and welcome to Spotlight. With me tonight, the City Council President of the City of Southfield, Sylvia Jordan. Sylvia, welcome again to MEA.
Thank you.
You've been with us before, but it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And you've been with the City Council for over 16 years. Tell me, you're running for the office of the mayor. How's the campaign doing? And I know you are very well established in Southfield for those years. You've been living there for what, 28 years?
28 years I've lived in Southfield.
Tell me more about why you thought about running and how's the campaign going?
Well, everything is going along well. And Southfield is a great city. Southfield has just a great diverse community. And with our previous mayor, Brenda Lawrence, going to Congress, it was an open seat. Mm-hmm. And having served on the city and committed to keeping Southfield a strong city, I decided let's give it a shot and see what happens. And trustfully and hopefully the voters will look at what I've done and look at what I've stood for and what changes that I've made and select me as the next mayor of Southfield.
I see. As we look at Southfield, it's multi-part of many ethnic minorities. There is the African American, there is the Jewish, and even the Asian and the Latino, and there is a good percentage of Middle Eastern community live and do business in Southfield. How is your relation? And I know you've been for a long time a champion of entrepreneur and of a business and of other ethnic minority joining together in the city of Southfield.
And that's what keeps Southfield strong, is that everybody in our community can live, you can establish your business, you can grow your business, and we can all work together as community. Southfield is small enough that we know everybody, yet large enough that you can still grow and have a thriving business. And so I've worked hard to develop relationships and keep relationships strong and keep the business community strong, the residential community strong, and just the different ethnic groups that are in our city.
I see. Do you see them that working together for the good of the city?
Yes.
Or there's pockets and they don't associate with each other?
I see a working together, but I think we can improve even more. I think Southfield can we used to offer a lot of different ethnic activities and different family-oriented activities. And one thing that's real crucial for me is to reestablish those family and those cultural activities that really make up community. Because if you have to travel outside of Southfield to have your family enjoy, some social time or a nice restaurant, then we haven't done our job as a city. And so I'd really like to see us reestablish and build that cultural community that Southfield needs.
Yeah, you mentioned that honestly what they're doing in Detroit, and they're doing a good job, but I look at it as just the front, the riverside, deep in the neighborhood or close to Southfield, there is nothing. And I look at our downtown, it's like seeing we don't have downtown.
Right.
I'll go to Chicago or Boston and I feel the downtown. And honestly, Southfield become the downtown. With the business opening, with the people going, with the restaurant and all that. How are you encouraging that?
Absolutely. And I grew up in the city of Detroit. I've lived in Michigan all my life, but I grew up in Detroit. And as a young girl, we would go downtown Detroit. And my mother would take us down. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. I come from a big family. And we would ride the bus to downtown Detroit. And when we got down there and we saw the Hudsons and all the stores and the ice skating, it was really just a memorable experience. And Southfield can really develop that downtown feeling. So what we've done as a city, we've purchased 8 acres of land directly across from City Hall.
Okay.
And we're going to bring in a developer or developers and give us that campus marshes feel.
Nice. That's very nice.
And that's going to happen.
Community center.
That community center, that community engagement that we need in our city, and that is going to happen.
I see. I look at the Northland. It's been the business that's going down there and all that. And I think, honestly, it was a good move for the city of Southfield to purchase that. Tell me, what are you going to do with it? I mean, that area you could say it's your link with Detroit, because
That's
at
right.
the 8 Mile and all that, and if you put something nice there, you're gonna honestly add a lot more to the city.
That's right. And we've found that we are so close, joined by the hip, to the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
And so what happened, we originally found out that there was a organization in California that wanted to build a prison reentry program and use Northland as the site. And once the city found that out, once we found that out, we said we can't have that here. You know, it's not that we don't want prisoners to regain entry into society, but that's just not the right location
That's right. They
to
could
have
be,
it.
you know.
So it was an easy decision after hearing that we needed to buy it. And so we went in and bought it for $2.4 million. And we'll get part of that money back because they had some unpaid water bills. But it's going to give us an opportunity to have a real gateway into the community.
What are you gonna do? What do you have them?
So we like to see a mixed-use development. We like to see a small portion of retail. We like to see some housing. Providence Hospital wants 20 acres. So
Great.
it's a teaching hospital. So they need places for their interns and their residents to come. And they also need spots for the overnight stay of the guest.
Yes.
So it's going to be a mixed-use retail, eye-captivating development that's going to be
great.
really, really
Do you
exciting.
think Lawrence Tech interested in have like a housing? Because I know they have a housing problem. You know, they trying to expand and there is no room. Do you think they'll be interested in that?
Now that's a different concept as well, because it's 114 acres. And so we've got to have all partners in play. What we had also talked about is getting some community engagement, and so hearing from the community as to what they would like to see there as well. So we don't want just the city to dictate or the developers to say, but we want a full engagement of how we can best use that spot and how we can sustain it in the future with the development that we'll put there.
Yeah. Let's talk about something very important, and because you are close to Detroit, the safety. And this is the problem we have in Detroit, and God forbid we don't want that to come to Southfield too. How's the police department, the fire department, how you see them, and what would you like to see them in the future when you are a mayor?
Well, you know, with our police department, we've got an excellent police chief, and I really worked hard. I was in his corner to make sure that he was appointed the police chief, looking at the dynamics of the city. But the racial breakdown of the police chief, it's only about 14% African American, and just a few other minorities, and then the rest Caucasian. And so we do need to expand the minority.
Reflect the community that you
It
live
should
in.
be reflective of the community.
Yes.
The police chief has said that's a hard task to do because there are very few folks that can really qualify for the jobs. But I put him up to a challenge. Let's go out and really recruit
Yes.
and make sure it's a reflection of the community. We're fortunate that we have not had incidents such as the Fergusons and the things that have happened across the country. It's because our police chief has really taken a community policing approach, which is not being so fast to pull the gun, but to really engage in dialogue with
Yes.
the people that they unfortunately may arrest or may encounter. So we've got a great police department, and it needs to be a little bit more reflective of our community, but we are safe and secure. Our fire department is second to none.
Great.
You know, our emergency runs, they're there within under 5 minutes, almost 4 minutes.
That's great.
So,
Yeah.
and that's another reason why businesses are coming from Detroit to Southfield.
They need that, you know.
Safety and security.
Safety and security, that's what resident and
That's right,
business.
that's right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's important that we, and what I would like to do, and continuing to do as mayor, is to give the police and the fire the funding that they need for all of the resources to keep us safe and secure.
Great. Let's talk now about the Middle Eastern, and I know you have a great relation with them throughout the years. You know, I know you for so long, and you know, and honestly, whenever there is an event and all that, I see you there. You know, talking to them, understand them, see what they need, understand the culture, and you know how. Tell me, how is still the Middle Eastern community have a good percentage in Southfield? I mean, I know in one time, We were heavy there, but you know the community is getting large and
Right.
that. So tell
Right.
me more about the resident now.
Now, with the residential community, I think it has declined a little in terms of the Middle Eastern population, but there's a strong presence there,
Yeah.
and so we welcome everybody that's there, and we want to make sure everybody feels welcome, that everybody feels safe, and keep that sense of community there. Southfield has been doing well over the years. We've handled our money well. We've handled the resources that we've been given well. We haven't had to increase taxes except for when we went out for a millage for the roads because our roads were in horrible condition,
Sure.
so we had
Yeah.
to do something there. But for the most part, we all get along,
Yeah.
and we respect one another,
I
and
see.
we can live
Are
together.
they involved with the city? If
I like
it's
to see 'em
in
more
management or police or fire or community event and all that. Are they involved?
I like to see them more involved.
More, yeah.
Yes, absolutely,
Mhm.
because we're living together.
Absolutely.
And again, I think that Southfield the size of our city is that we can know everybody,
Mhm.
and so everybody's welcome. Nobody should be excluded or feel excluded in the activities and the events that we have.
I see. Are you satisfied with the school district? Tell me, tell me the truth. You know, yeah.
You know, that's a real tough question, because when you look at, when you look at the Zillow, when you go on Zillow and they give you a rating for the schools,
Mhm.
our schools definitely need to have those numbers improved. There's a lot of reorganization that has taken place, and I really commend our superintendent for having to navigate through what's been handed her
Mhm.
in terms of the potential closing of 4 schools in the city of Southfield. So that's kind of devastating to a community. Um, but parents have choices now, and everybody wants to give their child the best education possible. And so what I've proposed from a city's perspective
Yes.
is let's at least see if we can keep the library open full capacity, because right now our library, it's closed half of the time
Why?
because of budget, because of funding and staffing. So we as a city, we need to make some other adjustments to make sure that library is open and our children can go there.
Absolutely.
And I got a letter, what really tugged my heart, I got a letter from a second grade student at Bernie, and she said, "Miss Jordan, I know you're on the city council, but I don't have a computer at home, and the library is closed half the time. What can you do to help?" And I just said,
Yeah.
we're not doing our job as a city if we built that stellar library, $38 million, and we can't even keep it open half the
Doesn't
time.
make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I really want to make sure is open that library up.
I see. Now let's talk about the business for the Middle Eastern community. As I know, there is a lot of businesses, a lot of office occupied, a lot of retails in the city of Southfield. How you communicate as a city council president, and how you want him to act and do the business in Southfield when you are a mayor.
So what we want is total community involvement and total business involvement. Southfield has been very welcoming to the business community, and we still have a lot of room to grow. There's still buildings that need to be filled. There's still pockets that we need some more businesses there, small businesses, entrepreneurs. We want you to come and really grow your business. So as mayor, I'm the brand ambassador for the city. So
Yes.
I like to leverage the relationships that we have with the business community that's there, so everybody knows what everybody's doing, so that we can even share among the businesses that are in the city. If we know that you're supplying auto parts and you need auto parts, let's get you together. I like to see more roundtable discussions
Uh-huh.
with the large businesses as well as the small businesses. What can we do as a city to help your business grow? What can we do as a city to give you more exposure, not only national, but even globally, when you
Yes.
think about the 9,000 businesses that we have in the city and over 80 which have a Fortune 500 presence.
You have the big businesses.
They're there.
But you need the small businesses too.
Yes.
Because those are who make things happen.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
Mhm.
So we've got to leverage the relationships in the business community, which I don't think we've done fully. I really think everybody needs to know who's in Southfield and how we can help each other's business grow, and that is definitely one of the key parts to who I am, because I'm a small business owner. I'm an entrepreneur.
What do you do
know.
in Southfield?
I wear a couple hats. I'm on the
Uh-huh.
city council. I have a daycare and I run a school, but I've also developed some products, some mosquito skincare products. So
Wow.
we're
We need them
working-
in Michigan.
We need them in Michigan. So I've been
Summertime.
selling. That's right. Summertime. It's a great product, and so I need to leverage that product and get it
I
in
see.
more hands and make more money myself. So small businesses really is the hub that our country runs on.
Absolutely. How you see your relation with the city surrounding Southfield and with our governors, and are they working together with Southfield? Because honestly, I see a lot of attention to Detroit, but we cannot neglect other cities like
Right.
Warren and Southfield, and how you see your relation with other city and with the governor in Lansing.
That's a great question. Southfield cannot be an island, and I don't think Detroit can either.
Absolutely.
We've got to cross the boundaries, and we've got to be willing to work together. And when you think of the office of governor reaching to Detroit, you've got to go through Southfield to get there.
Absolutely.
And so we've
Yeah.
got to build better relationships, and the networking needs to improve. It can't be a us versus them, but we're in this together.
Absolutely.
We have had a number of businesses that have relocated from Detroit
Mhm.
because they don't want to be in Detroit, but they want to be close by. So we would welcome those businesses and the relationships that in all governments with our governor as well as the city council folk in Detroit, which I have some relationships with them as well. But we're looking to increase those relationships.
Yeah. You've seen the positive attitude of Detroit, if it's the mayor or the city police and all that. And one time, as you mentioned, Detroit was isolated, and
Yeah.
do you see different now?
It's different. It
Yeah.
seems like everybody wants Detroit to win because it's a win for all of us.
For the whole state of Michigan.
It's a win for
Yes.
the whole state of Michigan. I was at an event on Sunday, and I ran into Mayor Duggan, and he's just a energetic, just a carefree kind of guy.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm going to be working with you very closely pretty soon. He said, come on, let's do it. So that's
Great.
really encouraging to know that we can work together. It's not a us versus them, but what can we do for this region? The southeastern Michigan region
Yes.
includes Wayne County, Oakland County,
Tri-county
and
area,
Macomb
all
County.
that.
It's a tri-county
They cannot
area.
isolate anyone
That's right.
because, everybody's interested in having other people's success.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's very
Yeah.
important.
Okay, let's go back to the Middle Eastern community. As a city council, you work with the community, and I saw the support. As a city council president, you had the support of the community and all that. For running a campaign as a mayor, it's completely different, and you need the help, and you've been helping the Middle Eastern. I've seen that myself. What do you ask him? What kind of help? I mean, a lot of people, they said, what, we should help her. She's been with us for so long, and now it's our time to pay back, to help. What do you like him? And the election is few days.
5 days away.
Yes. So tell me, what do you need? What kind of message you want to relate to this community?
We just really need people to get out and vote. Just to get on out and get to the polls and vote. That is really, that's all we needed, this strategy right now. Because a lot of people think that, it'll happen. But really, everybody's engagement, every vote will count. Every vote will matter. And if folks need me to pick them up and take them to the polls, I'm willing to do it because every vote
You're a
is
people
important.
person.
And I've been that way all my life. my when I was growing up, I have an older sister, and then it's me. And my mother used to say, you just like to just boss everybody around. I said, no, I don't like to boss everybody around, but I just like for everybody to get along.
Yes.
And so that's just who I am.
Great, great. Well, honestly, you did a good job as a city council.
Thank you,
did a
Wally.
very good job as city council president, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job as mayor of Southfield.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. And so people
Thank
can
you.
go to my website if they like.
Okay.
Yes, so it's www.sylviajordanformayor.com,
Okay, great.
and they can visit the website. And if they need me to pick them up, call me or let us know.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Sure,
much.
my
Wally.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. Dear viewer, that was my interview with the Southfield City Council President, Sylvia Jordan. Honestly, I've been involved with the city of Southfield for so long, over 30 years. And honestly, whenever I go an event, not just in Southfield, even cities surrounding Southfield, I see Sylvia Jordan there talking to the people, understanding their culture, the thing they need, and work with them to make it happen. It's time for you now to, I don't want to say back, but to give that support to her and go and vote for her on a Tuesday as a mayor of Southfield. Thank you for watching. Good night.